Let me take you back to the year 2005. The Nintendo DS had recently just come out worldwide, and Pokemon fans across the world were eager for a new game on the system, kinda like how we are now with the Switch, but that's a whole nother topic. As I'm sure you guys are aware, we had to wait until 2007 before the world would get a proper new main series Pokemon game on the system and Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl version, but that didn't stop Nintendo from releasing spin-off games for the system. It seems like the third generation era of Pokemon spawned the most spin-off games out of any generation for whatever reason, with most of them just being forgotten about. Today we'll be talking about one of these spin-off games known as Pokemon Dash on the Nintendo DS, which was the very first Pokemon game released on the system. Pokemon Dash also happens to be the lowest rating Pokemon game on Metacritic with a score of only 46 out of 100, thus making it the worst Pokemon game out there. I guess saying it's the worst Pokemon game out there is more of a subjective term, but just go with me on this. Now if you don't know what Pokemon Dash is a racing style game developed by Umbrella, who have made multiple Pokemon spin-off games such as the Rumble series. Released as a launch title in Japan for the DS in December of 2004, which was then released worldwide throughout 2005. Except for in Korea for some reason where they had to wait until 2007 before they brought this game over. Don't really know why, I feel like it was a little bit too late for that. The whole point of Pokemon Dash is to use your DS stylus on the touchscreen to move your Pokemon in the race while crossing through various checkpoints. The game is notorious for ruining touchscreens due to how fast you have to swipe the touchscreen in order to make your Pokemon run faster. This game honestly doesn't hold up very well by today's standards, especially since there are plenty of mobile games that can emulate this gameplay pretty easily. For 2005 standards, this wasn't so bad, since this was the time where touchscreens started to become more mainstream, and for a lot of people, including myself, this was my first time ever really using a touchscreen was with the Nintendo DS system. Now I was only 10 years old when this game came out, but I remember getting it and loving this game to death. We got to see a couple of 4th gen Pokemon in this game such as Munchlax, which was awesome as a kid, and I remember playing this game a ton. This game was criticized a lot due to its laziness in gameplay and lack of overall substance, and to be honest, if it wasn't for the Pokemon title being on the cover of this game, I doubt too many people would have even paid much attention to this game, let alone even bought this game. It's been at least 10 years or so since I played this game, so let's fire it up and see if it really is as bad as these 2005 reviews say it is. Loading up Pokemon Dash, and the first thing I remembered was being able to play with Pikachu in a Super Mario 64 style way. Nothing too major here, but I think it's really cute and worth pointing out since we really don't see things like this a lot anymore. We do have the Pokemon Ami, which is similar I guess, but nobody ever uses that anyway. At the title screen we have two options here, one for single player and one for multiplayer. Since there is no Wi-Fi in this game at all, and I had no friends who really played this game, I don't really remember the multiplayer too much. It seems like it acts similar to most local multiplayer DS at the times, so there's nothing too crazy here. There was no online functionality for this game whatsoever, which is irrelevant now since the servers are shut down anyway. Online multiplayer would have been pretty cool though, but this is Nintendo in 2005 we're talking about. If they can barely figure out how the internet works in 2018, then imagine what it was like in 2005 when other systems had all these cool online functionalities, but barely any Nintendo games did. Loading into the single player menu, we have a few options such as regular GP, hard GP, special, time attack, and practice. They're all pretty self-explanatory except for the special option. This allows you to make a custom track based off of your GBA Pokemon games you have inserted in the GBA slot, which I unfortunately can't showcase since I'm recording this off of a 3DS capture card, which has no GBA slot. This is actually a really neat feature that I remember using as a kid, which is pretty impressive for the time. It basically just makes a track in the form of a sprite of a Pokemon on the GBA game, which adds a lot of replayability to this game, which I like. Going into the single player, we can see there are 5 cups in this game, so let's just start off with the first cup, which is the green cup. This game is extremely simple, especially at the very start. You swipe your stylus in the direction that it tells you to, and it's pretty hard to see exactly what's in front of you. I found that long swipes are better than fast short swipes, since short fast swipes will tire out your Pokemon a lot faster. This game only lets you use Pikachu as well, which is kind of a bummer since it would be so much fun if you could use other characters. I'm not sure exactly how this would work on multiplayer since I don't have a chance to try it out, and I don't really know who would ever choose Munchlax though, since this thing has a base speed out of 5 and would probably be the slowest thing in the game. Then again, this game probably doesn't take that into account at all, so it probably wouldn't even matter. The game changes a little bit once you get to the balloon stages, which propel you up in the air in order to reach other checkpoints. This made it a little bit confusing at first since I didn't really know where to go since the arrow wasn't there anymore, but on the top screen it does show you an image of where you have to land and you have to maneuver around the bottom screen to find it, kinda like a battle royale style game where you parachute in. This made the game feel more like a memorization game, memorizing where you have to land, since it was pretty hard for me to tell at first where I was supposed to go. Since I was only playing on standard mode though, I was still able to come in second, despite being very lost at the beginning. This game has a few other cups which are all very similar to the first one, just with different scenery, so this game can be a little bit repetitive. Unlike in other racing games such as Mario Kart, each stage in the cup has its own unique feel, while in Pokemon Dash, they all look the same and it's pretty hard to tell them apart due to the game's camera angle and the DS's small touchscreen, and the fact that most of your touchscreen is to be blocked off by your hand and your stylus anyway since you're furiously swiping. In the end, does this game deserve the title of the worst Pokemon game? The answer to that is probably yes, although to be fair, this really isn't that bad of a game. It's not really worth picking up today in 2018 unless you're a huge Pokemon fan and you want this for your collection, but outside of that, this game did not age well at all due to the rise of mobile gaming. I think a sequel of this game on mobile devices would be perfect since it would work a lot better due to the screen's orientation, but I doubt we will ever see this. And that was Pokemon Dash, aka the worst Pokemon game. Let me know if you guys have played Pokemon Dash in the comment section down below, and let me know what you guys think the worst Pokemon game is, including all of these various spin-off games. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, since it helps the channel grow. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you guys next time, and bye-bye.